In every village, the old woman said, her voice a gravelly whisper, there is a spirit that does not enter through the front door. It waits in the shadow of praise. It dances behind the preacher's words, and when you clap too loud, it smiles. That was the last thing Eve remembered before the ceremony began. The old woman's eyes glowing in the firelight, the crowd laughing off her warning. No one believed her, not until the woman in white arrived, not until the snake appeared behind the altar. In the quiet village of Amadi-Nta, nestled between the river Ajami and the forest of forgotten graves, people lived simple, sacred lives. They farmed, danced, and prayed like their ancestors. Spirits were respected, names were not called carelessly, and elders' words were final. But in time, the young people grew hungry for new fire, miracles, instant healings, and prophecy. It was then that Mama Koinonia came. She arrived like lightning, literally. On the night she entered the village, thunder cracked the sky open, and the moon hid behind thick, churning clouds. But her voice, oh, her voice, it was velvet and thunder, fire and honey. The moment she opened her mouth, people swore they felt their bones tremble. She claimed to have walked with angels, to have fasted 300 days, and to have been sent by the Spirit to set captives free. They built her a cathedral of bamboo and iron sheets in 2 weeks. She didn't touch money. She didn't smile too long. She walked barefoot, even over thorns. Everyone said, this one is not ordinary. She is sent. But the elders did not clap. Ife, the village herbalist's daughter, had dreams, not the ones of riches or love. Hers were visions, strange ones. Her father said she had the eye of the water, meaning her spirit could see what the body could not. One night after Mama Koinonia's crusade, Ife dreamt she was inside the church, but no one else was there. Only Mama Koinonia, and behind her, a long, dark shape moved. It was like smoke, but solid. It had no face, yet it watched. It had no mouth, yet it hissed. When Mama lifted her hands in prayer, the snake lifted its head. Eve woke up screaming. The next day, the crusade field was packed. Over 1,000 people. Some had walked 3 villages. Women threw wrappers on the ground where Mama Koinonia would walk. Men knelt, offering goats and salt. Eve watched from the back, clutching the charm her father gave her. Mama Koinonia stepped onto the stage, white gown, shaven head, barefoot. As she spoke, the sky began to dim. Not night, but something else, like the sun was afraid to look down. Then it happened. Eve blinked once, twice, and there it was. Behind the preacher stood a figure, tall, serpent-like, hooded like a cobra, but with the body of shadow and smoke. No one else seemed to see it. It mimicked every move Mama made. When she lifted her hands, it coiled. When she danced, it hissed. When she shouted, "Receive fire," it struck invisible blows through the crowd, and people fell not from healing, but from something else. Ife screamed. No one heard. After the crusade, Ife ran to Pa Ikoro, the oldest elder in Amadi-Nta. He was the last of the Ofo bearers, keepers of the ancestral truth. She told him everything. He was silent for a long time. Then he said only 3 words, "It has returned." He reached behind his mat and pulled out an ancient staff, one carved from Iroko wood, with a serpent coiled around it. This staff was used last when the Ezi-Okwu walked among men. Ife trembled. What is Ezi-Okwu? Pa Ikoro's eyes turned distant. It is the spirit of twisted truth. It hides behind prophets. It speaks half of heaven and all of hell. It never comes unless called. Then who called it? Eve asked. Pa Ikoro looked toward the bamboo cathedral. The people did, when they stopped seeking the truth and began seeking signs. That night, Ifa didn't sleep. She prepared. With her father's permission, she mixed herbs of sight and protection, Uda seed, bitter cola, ashes from the river's mouth, and oil from the sacred tree of Nyamanza. She rubbed them on her eyes and tongue. Then she went. Mama Koinonia was holding a midnight vigil. Her voice echoed like thunder. People screamed in deliverance. The shadow behind her danced. Eve stood up. She walked toward the altar. As she got closer, the figure behind Mama turned. It saw her, and for the first time, it roared. The candles went out. The sky cracked open. The ground shook. But Eve stood firm. She raised her hand and shouted, "If your spirit is holy, let it stand alone." Mama Koinonia froze. The snake shrieked. Suddenly, silence. Then Mama Koinonia began to tremble. Her white gown turned dark. The shadow behind her slid forward and entered her. She collapsed. People screamed and ran. Thunder struck the bamboo altar. Fire erupted. But Pa Ikoro appeared, holding the Iroko staff. He slammed it into the ground. Spirits called in lies. "Return to your graves," the earth cracked. From the split, a wail rose, 1,000 voices screaming as one. Then silence again. Morning came. Smoke rose from the ruins of the church. Mama Koinonia was gone. Some say she disappeared. Others say she turned into a shadow and slithered into the forest. But the elders rebuilt the shrine to the ancestors. The village returned to old ways. Truth over theatrics, humility over hype. And Ife, she became the youngest seer in Amadi-Nta's history. Every year on the anniversary of the crusade, thunder cracks the sky. And every year the elders whisper, "Not every preacher is a prophet. Not every spirit is holy." Moral of the story: be careful who lays hands on you. Some hands carry heaven, others carry hidden serpents.